guys! Welcome to Japan by Food. I'm your host, SHIZUKA Anderson. Today we are in bustling city center of Tokyo, Shinjuku. It is amazing and beautiful here at night, but they also have fantastic food. And today I'm going to be checking out a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant called Robatasho. And they specialize in Robatayaki, which is a fireside cooking style that originated in Hokkaido and became popular in Sendai in Miyagi Prefecture. And they use a odorless and smokeless charcoal called binchotan in Robatayaki style cooking, which I'm very curious about. And on top of that, they serve their food on these like wooden paddles. And apparently that gives it a little theatrical and fun twist. So I can't wait to see what that's all about. Let's go check it out without further ado. Here we go. Hi! Arigatou gozaimasu! What? This is so fun! I've got a freshly chilled plate of sashimi. This looks amazing. This is the otoshi of this restaurant. And otoshi in Japanese means it's kind of an appetizer, but it's something that they always serve you at the beginning of the meal that you don't order. Like it just comes with the sit-down meal. This one is the bonito, and this is called aji in Japanese. And this is a buri. And this one here is called namero. And this is something that's new for me. It is basically a fish tataki that's been mixed with miso and ginger, and they mix it all together and it becomes a deliciously seasoned tataki fish. And finally, we have a white meat fish at the end here. So nice variety to enjoy.
続きましてが前菜の3種盛りをお持ちいたしました。
すごい、ありがとうございます。
前菜が先ほど選んでいただいた通り、こちらの大きい器からオクラのおかかあえとこちらネギトロ明太あえですね。で、あとこちらが昆布佃煮のマスカルポーネで、こちらはクラッカーをつけてぜひ召し上がってください。
お、ありがとうございます。Wow, this looks fantastic. So I've got my umeshu now. Umeshu is a Japanese plum liqueur. And apparently this one is quite a smooth drink, and I've got it on the rocks. Let's try.
さあ、乾杯。乾杯。
Oh, ありがとうございます。乾杯。ありがとうございます。The atmosphere here is fantastic. The staff are all very friendly and very lively. This is their famous potato salad. Ooh, that looks steamy and delicious. Put some little peppers on the top. They've got some veggies mixed in. And I gotta talk about this though, because we decided to order the Otoko no Yume beer. This is the giant, 3 times the regular size beer. It is a man's dream, but it is also Shizuka's dream. That is refreshing. What should I start with, you guys? I'm gonna start with one of my sashimis. First, I'd like to go in and try. I'm gonna try all of them, but this one is particularly interesting to me. Let's give it a try. It's so chewy. Like all of the flavor has been packed into this tiny little mouthful, and it does taste like a tuna tataki, but it has this like the saltiness of the miso. It feels like it's all just been stewed and allowed to absorb all the flavors. I'm glad I tried that. It's delicious. Typically when you order lotus root in Japan, they'll cut it, you know, circularly so you can see all of the little holes in it. My first impression is that it looks like a French fry, like a potato wedge. Let's try. That is really good. When they cut it lengthwise, you can enjoy the fibers of the lotus root. So when I bit into it, there were like some little strings that came out, and the crunch is to die for. Definitely recommend to try this if you ever come here. Next, I'm dying to try this potato salad. It looks fantastic. Here we go. I'm just gonna dig in from the top. Let's try. Do you that crunch? It's very peppery. It is so good. You can enjoy the soft and crunchy textures of the potato salad. I understand why it's a fan favorite. Arigatou gozaimasu! Wow! It is one giant onion that's been grilled on the Robatayaki. The outside is nice and grilled. That looks so good. And I'm gonna dip it in the salt or drop it in the salt. He said don't add too much, but I'm adding too much because I can't pick it up. Well, we're gonna get an extra salty bite then. Here we go. That's a delicious onion. The onion itself has been grilled to perfection. It is so soft. And as he said, it brings out the sweetness. It's juicy and sweet, and I almost never thought I could say that about an onion. Really good. This is my shiitake mushroom. So there's a special delicious way to eat this apparently. You hold the shiitake mushroom by its stem, and there's a little bit of a delicious broth or stew inside the mushroom hat. So you're supposed to sip it. Let's give it a try. That is really good. It tastes a little bit like a Japanese soup that uses for example, kombu and shiitake-based broth. And now I'm going to try and eat it. Oh, wow. That is tender. You might have an image of shiitake mushrooms as being like really tough and chewy. Not this one. You can bite right through it. It is so soft and so juicy. So you'd think that seaweed and mascarpone would be a weird combination, but I have a good feeling about this. It tastes like a combination of Japanese pickles and cream cheese, well, mascarpone cheese. So it's got this salty, sour taste, and then combined with this lovely creamy cheese. I like that. All combinations of flavors and textures. It's time for our main course. Oh my gosh, you guys! I've just got my grilled fish. So as you can see, it's got a lot of little spikes on it. I don't think they're actually sharp or anything, but it does look like a thorny headed fish. And I guess the way to go is probably to citrusize it. And it does look delicious, I'm not gonna lie. It's grilled and crisped to perfection. And the meat looks so tender. Go in for a try. Oh, it's very juicy and very tender. You get a lot of the oils from the fish that come from being grilled on the grill over there. Like all of the oils have just melted and oozed out. The flavors explode in your mouth when you eat it. The salt has been absorbed so nicely into the meat. If you eat it with the skin, it's got a nice salty crisp to it. It's really good, you guys. All of the dishes here are top notch. So now that I've got my second drink, this is the nigori umeshu. So it is the same, well, should be the same type of drink as this one, which is a Japanese plum wine liqueur. But this one is nigori, so it's a little bit, nigori means like it's cloudy. And we've mixed it with soda this time instead of being on the rocks. Let's give it a try. It reminds me of like a spicy ginger ale without the ginger, but it's that kind of base taste. Well guys, I'm gonna keep eating for a little bit. So I'll see you guys when I'm done and I've cleared this all up. This is the Tsukimi onigiri, and Tsukimi is a word that means watching the moon, and we often use this word to describe anything that has an egg on it. And it's a grilled onigiri, so they grilled it on the Robatayaki with a little bit of soy sauce. Let's give this a try. It is really crispy. It's a grilled onigiri, so the outside rice is really crispy and got a good crunch to it. The inside is nice and chewy and soft. The egg adds a creaminess to it. And if you've ever had a Japanese tamago kake gohan, which is a bowl of rice with a raw egg on top, it's a little bit reminiscent of that. And it's got a little bit of a spice to it with a lot of, they use a lot of black pepper here. I really like it. If you like egg on rice, this might be for you. So the flames have finally died down. Apparently if you wait about 10 seconds or so, you can already eat it. It's safe to eat. But the top part, of course, is still a little hot, so you have to be careful. I'm gonna give it a try. That's a really creamy, eggy looking pudding. The sugar on the top is really rich. It's not like a regular creme brulee. It tastes like Japanese black sugar. That's what makes it really good. The black sugar is a little bit richer, sweeter. It's got a fuller flavor. And then the pudding itself is an egg pudding, which is what you would normally find in Japan. Really creamy. I've just spoken with one of the chefs here at this restaurant, and he's given me a little bit more information about the interior of this shop. The interior, as you may have noticed, it feels very cozy and a little bit traditional looking. And he said that this shop was actually designed to feel like you've just come home. And another aspect that was very interesting about Robatayaki is, as you can see, there's some fish and some vegetables laid out in front of us. This here is some real fish, actually. At first I thought it was maybe fake fish, but it's real fish, real ice. And one more thing that he mentioned was about the paddles. I asked him why they use the paddles, and essentially it's because of the design of the Robatayaki restaurant. You can always see them cooking and grilling on the Robata. So this is a great way to serve the food from across the counter and directly to the customers while it's still hot. But in this particular restaurant, they go for a longer paddle, a little bit for the fun and the entertainment value. But if you go to some other Robatayaki restaurants, they'll be shorter paddles. And they'll just reach over and give those to you nice and fresh and nice and hot. Anyway, this was my delicious meal today. I've eaten a lot, super full, and I'm so satisfied. If you guys are ever in Shinjuku, I wholeheartedly recommend this restaurant. If you'd like any information about this restaurant, we'll put some links down below, so make sure to check those out. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. And we'll see you guys again in another episode on Japan by Food. Bye guys!